Cool. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this stream. Probably, I think I forgot how I used to start my streams. So my name is Sayam Pathak, and I am a CNCF ambassador working as director of technical evangelism at CIVO. And this is the first live stream on my YouTube channel for 2022, and it is actually the first live stream as a Q&A session. I haven't done something like this before, so not sure how this will go. I'm excited and nervous at the same time because I haven't taken any questions head on, in the live chat. So glad that some of you have joined. Thank you so much for joining in. And I already see folks. I just put you on the screen because you joined. So you should be, welcomed on the screen. Cool. So nice to see all the people, and very excited for this particular session. And I hope I'll be able to answer all your questions. So since I didn't kind of know how many people will join and what would be the criteria and how things will go, so here's what we are going to do. I'll start with some of the things that I have been doing with the community, some of the initiatives that I have been kind of doing, and then we'll kind of I'll monitor the chat and I'll answer your questions. So let me start with this. So the first and the new initiative that I have started was Cube Simplify. It is very interesting stuff that I am kind of building with amazing people that we have in the group. So right now, Cube Simplify is a kind of mission to simplify cloud native for everyone. And as you can see on the screen, this particular website as of now is tied to Hashnode. And today exactly marks 30 days of starting from our first blog till now. So some of the stats are like, I think there are 22 blogs right now, excluding the one that just got published by my friend. So 22 blogs. We have more than 25K plus views in 30 days, which is, I think, cool. So if you do not know about this initiative, I would request you to kind of visit the site, join the Discord. So cubesimplify.com/discord. So you can join the Discord. You can be part of the group. This is not only like, this will obviously not only be about blogging. This there are many initiatives tied to it. So the next thing that you can see is the Cube Simplify GitHub repository. Obviously we need to add the readmes and all that stuff, but we are already starting some of the initiatives. The first mini project that we have started is the tweets one, like to automate the tweet workflow. The second project that we are starting is actually the websites. So we are going to create a website with some fun features and some of the things that we have planned. And there are people who kind of align to the same goal, and they are working with creation of everything. So it's basically a whole community effort that is being driven. um, yeah, there are a few people have also sponsored, so thank you all for doing that. And it's been an interesting journey so far, and I have been learning a lot from especially from the young ones who have kind of put a lot of energy in Cube Simplify, and they have like electrified me to even do more. So that's why like I am also putting some amount of effort in doing, in kind of helping them in setting the directions, architectures, and all that stuff. And it will be like superb coming forward. So I would ask you to join that particular initiative. So what's next? Yeah, next is the landscape. I think there'll be some question from there, so that's why I have opened already. So cool. That's pretty much that I had to kind of say. Yeah, before like moving on, I forgot the stuff that you say. So if you are new to the channel, then please care to subscribe and share it with your friends. There's like tons of knowledge on the channel. The live streams, which are not so continuous this year, but they will be. I have another set of plans for that. The CNCF minutes video that explains a CNCF project in a few minutes. So that is also there. Then you have the walkthrough videos. So I'm focusing majorly on three initiatives, which is the walkthrough videos of the cloud tools, products to make them easy to understand. Second is the CNCF minutes video, exploring the CNCF projects. And third is the Cube Simplify. So all three initiatives, I want to like take it to millions. I know it sounds crazy, but we'll definitely do that. If we can do 25K in a month, then who knows what we can achieve in future with the strong community support that we have. I didn't even expect, 10, 15 people join. So we are having 30, 40 plus people right now live. So I think that's also achievement for me. So thank you so much for tuning in. Let's begin now with the questions. So I haven't read the past comments, so please start putting your questions now so that I can start reading them and I can start answering them. So you can ask anything on the DevOps roadmap, on the DevOps stuff, learning and whatever is in your mind. The remote work, so since COVID times we are doing the remote work, you can ask anything on that. And the mental health, that is extremely important. The burnouts, the mental health, as content creators, as the developers, as people working remotely, this has hit us all in some or the other way. So it's very important to discuss that as well. So let me know. Yes, Prabhat, please do not spam the chat. That is true. And I can, the next time you send the message, I'll block. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. So I'll take your question, but please don't spam next time. Your class 12 student has lost all his interest in PC related field. Can I get remote DevOps jobs if I drop the college? So see, I think you have lost your interest in PCM, but how do you know you have interest in DevOps? So if you have the interest, maybe you have learned something or done something. So I would say like it's never too early or it's never too late to start anything. Um, you can pick up go through the DevOps roadmap, start your journey, join the Discord, join with others, and maybe you can get the jobs. So that should not be a problem. So degree nowadays is not that much important when you're talking about the remote culture. Yes, in India, obviously, not only in India, in many countries, there are procedures like, the mandate is certain degree. So, but I think we are moving away from that culture, especially in the startup culture. We are focusing on the talent first rather than the degrees. So, cool. Okay, so Sarthak, I have been following your DevOps roadmap and the journey till now has been good. So I would like to know how can I apply for DevOps skill which I learned. That's a very good question, and I get this asked very often. So that is why I started Cube Simplify, so that we can provide you the mini projects to work on, and you get that, some sort of experience of doing that. Now let me give you a very good example. Like you are, you are learning, let's say any cloud, and you're learning a concept. Now it actually doesn't matter if you just see the video, or if you have purchased any course, or if you have read a blog, and if you do not practice that. So if you do not practice that particular video or a lab which they have done, it's make no sense. Same goes with any technology. For example, let's say you have studied the basics of Kubernetes. So basically, till the time you have set up the Kubernetes cluster yourself, you can't say you know Kubernetes. Till the time you haven't spin up the infrastructure using Terraform properly, use the modules, you cannot say you know Terraform just because you have read stuff. So basically, every course is accompanied by some of the labs. Now that is one part. Another part is taking part in the hackathons, so that they give you some of the key topics that you can um, work on and apply your learned knowledge in creating those mini projects. Third is the initiatives like Cube Simplify. I'm pretty sure there might be other other people who have awesome repositories in which they have labs, mini projects and stuff like that. But This is something like I also felt like we can do something in this area. Creating a CLI using Cobra that will teach you Go. Creating a highly available Kubernetes cluster, so that will kind of revert back to your SRE domain or your DevOps person who has to spin up a complete infrastructure on compute instances, not the managed ones. So I think those are some of the mini projects that will be coming up. So that is the way that you can accelerate your kind of journey. Okay, let's go to the next one. So Nikhil, I'm thinking to switch to AWS from AWS DevOps. From which AWS certification should I target first? So I think AWS itself, they have a very good criteria of the practitioner, the associate architect, certified DevOps professional, SysOps professional. They have this hierarchy that you can follow. So that should be pretty simple to kind of switch. I think there are awesome courses out there on a cloud guru that is paid, obviously, but there are awesome courses on YouTube as well, for especially for AWS, because that's kind of a old cloud, or I would say matured enough, which has a lot of certifications, a lot of learnings in terms of the services that it provide, and you can choose any of the paths. uh, where is the CNC student track happens? Can you please share the link? So I think community.cncf.io has the CNCF students meetup page. You can see all the meetups that happen over there. There's a Slack channel on CNCF Slack students that you can join, and there are many people involved in helping the student. Like if you're a student, there are like many of the advantages. You can apply for scholarships, you can apply for virtual KubeCon scholarships, and there's a student track, especially this KubeCon, which is targeted specifically for helping out students in navigating the landscape, understanding the technology around cloud native, and all that. And I think, yeah, that you can do that. So community.cncf.io. How much network fundamentals one should know to begin with DevOps? So Neha, that's obviously a very common question that I get. That is why I created the DevOps Roadmap video. Let me share the link. I don't know if you have seen the video. So it is for. Let me share it again. Share the screen window. Yep. So this is the DevOps roadmap video. If you haven't seen, I'll share the link as well. Let me sorry, I switched, I believe. Okay. Let me give you the link. Cool. So the link is there. Watch this video. I have specially mentioned the prerequisite section. There are like network stuff, the basic networking stuff, and some of the resources as well that you can do to kind of start your journey with DevOps. Obviously, there is some amount of knowledge that is required, not in-depth data center knowledge, how a server would kind of actually works, how would you kind of install OS on the server and all that stuff. Not that, but some amount is yes required, and you should be kind of knowing it. I'll remove this. Okay, next question. No worries, I am going slow. So I am so I don't know why you have written in caps, but it's okay. I'm confused about my college. There's 75 percentage criteria. I don't want to waste my time. I'm thinking of dropping out right now. I'm in my first sem in whatever college it is. So Piyush, see, it totally depends on you, I would say. See, it's not. First of all, leave that thought in mind. Like degrees are waste. I mean, you would have heard it from a lot of people. The course curriculums are not updated and stuff like that. There are colleges who are working. Some of the universities who are working on doing specialized courses, working on improving the syllabus year by year. So I think they are also working. I know some of the professors and HODs personally, from some of the universities who kind of consult me, and we kind of give them the curriculum. And so it's not waste. So let me give you an example. You have a book of data structure, that is not a waste, right? You need to kind of understand that, and take that and watch some of the other good courses as well on YouTube. You have the book of the networking, so computer networks, so that is not waste. You get to know about, learn about the fundamentals of TCP/IP networking model, OSM model, and then how basic networking router switches, all those works. So do you think that is a waste? I don't think so. Uh, Probably the 75% attendance can be a issue if it is like you cannot manage the time. But let me tell you one thing. This time management question has hit me a lot. So people have buzzed me a lot with this specific question. So I'll answer it straight. Right now you are in college and you say, 75% of the time is college and I am getting wasted. You'll be having exams and stuff like that. What do you think after that will happen? Your college is over, you get a job, you have to do the job. Now, I was a Java developer. I never had the DevOps domain. I know my friends who were working in entirely different day jobs, who had passion for DevOps. Now they could have also given the same excuse. I have my day job to do. Now what should I, how do I manage time? So it will be the exact same criteria for you after the college as well. You will be working on some of the stuff and some new technology comes. If you want to learn that technology, you have to spend the extra time. Let's say tomorrow any funky stuff comes, any new tech comes that requires a new kind of learning for you. Or let's say you want to learn Wasm. So you have to spend extra time. Everybody has to spend extra time to learn, to learn the new stuff. So even if you are doing the job, you'll be having that 7, 8, 9 hours, whatever hours of working hours you will be there, and that matches with your college hours. So you are again in the same bubble. Okay, I have my job, now how do I do it? So if you want to break that bubble, so you can break it now itself. So start your time management now itself, so that it helps you in the future as well. Because if you think that once I get a job, everything will be easy, I'll be able to learn whatever I want to do. Trust me, it's not like that. Everybody has to spend extra effort and they have to manage their day accordingly in order to learn new stuff. And so you can start now itself. Okay, let's move on to the next one. For DevOps, what type of open source contribution can help in profile building? So basically, that depends on what you are actually trying to do. So as a DevOps engineer, it's not that you won't be writing any code all the time. So your DevOps job itself varies from company to company. Some people would require you to have a scripting knowledge of Golang, Python when they ask for DevOps. Some people do not ask for those and they ask for strong Kubernetes and CRDs knowledge. So it varies from domain to domain, from company to company, what you are asked. Now, open source contributions, when you talk about open source contribution, the CNCF landscape that I was showing, I knew it that this question will come. So the CNCF landscape. So this is the CNCF landscape, and you can see the number of projects which are there, and you can start contributing those, and there can be number of contributions that you can do. So it's not only the code contribution. You can contribute in creation of the helm charts, you can contribute in creation of the the repositories, you can contribute in creation of the in automating some stuff using GitHub actions, and doing setting up a GitHub action for a particular repository. So I think the landscape itself is so huge that the number of opportunities that it provides are also huge, and the number of domains that it covers is also huge. You want to learn Rust, there are Rust stuff that you can work on. You want to learn C++, I think there is tons of projects that helps you. Java, there are some projects that will use that, you can contribute over there. Go, there are a lot of projects, majority, so you can contribute over there. So I think many projects are there, and you should definitely have uh, involvement in some of the projects that you find interesting, some of the projects that are actually in your domain, and you are kind of working in them, switching the knobs or doing something. So probably pick that project, see how you can contribute, what are the contributions available, what are the good first issues. Say I want to contribute, they'll give you with 4 links. Okay, read those links. Next, okay, I have read those links, what to do next? They will hand over you another task. So that's why step by step by step you kind of grow in terms of the contributions, and obviously that builds your profile. Again, I have covered this question as well, how I can contribute as a DevOps person. I am too much confused about the DevOps course certification program or prepare self as experienced software engineer. So there's a very good video on my YouTube channel, Are Certifications Important? I will just link to that, and that completely gives my views on, are certifications worth it? Should you
Some
do
people.
that? And what all is important, what all is not. So just dropping in the link. Among AWS, Azure, GCP, which cloud should I prefer as a learner? Any cloud. So that's what I mentioned in my roadmap video as well. You can pick and choose any cloud. Basically, the fundamentals remain the same. You have the compute, network, storage. Three things will always be there in all the clouds, and rest there will be like another set of services which are there. So Kubernetes there in all the clouds. Serverless is there in all the clouds. Then you have compute, obviously it's there. Network, you have VPC, all those virtual private networks in all the clouds. Then some of the terminologies will definitely differ. Somebody will call it like, somebody will have resource groups, somebody will have subscription, somebody will have different projects, somebody will have different billing criterias. So all those things will differ. Your IAM roles, so in Azure, you'll be having different set of authentication mechanisms, Azure Active Directory and all that stuff. In AWS, you'll be having the IAM role. In GCP, you'll be having your own set of permissions that will be there, and depending on that, you can choose. They all have certifications. They all have their learning path. They all have their learning resources. They all have tremendous courses on YouTube and on other paid platforms as well. So pick and choose any cloud. um, Now that can be a way, like if you see many opportunities out there which targets a specific cloud, and you want to target those specific opportunities, then you pick that particular cloud. So I would say go through the DevOps engineer kind of job description, see, maybe go through 10 job descriptions of different organizations, see what the expectation is, and then maybe you can choose your own cloud. Cool, this is going better than I expected actually. Nice set of questions. Do I need to have programming experience for DevOps internship? I would say yes and no, but I'm more oriented towards, a little more oriented towards yes, but it's 50-50. Depends on the role, depends on what actually they want to do. If they only want you to manage the infrastructure, set up Kubernetes, manage the infrastructure, set up the observability, security, all that stuff, it's fine. But at some point, if they ask you to automate any task that involves writing a bash script or a small Golang program, then you should be capable of doing that. That's what I told in my DevOps roadmap video. Like, automation is something that you will be doing as a DevOps engineer. Even you write a Jenkins file, you will be writing in Groovy. If you write any bash scripts for creating the projects, or doing some of the other stuff, then also you should be knowing something to write those. The deep dives, data structures, I'm not sure if you will be like needing them very regularly, but obviously good to have. Siddhant says tips for developers to create pipelines, implement GitOps on your previous projects. Yes. Yash, I am preparing for Evolution Architect. Please share some tips from where I can learn Linux and some Bash scripts. I have shared a lot of resources of learning Linux on my DevOps Roadmap video. That should be sufficient enough. Certificate for beginners in DevOps. So many certificates are there. I think there is one new course launched on Code Cloud, which is free for a month, which is Linux Foundation Certified Engineer course. So that's a certification by Linux Foundation. The free course is available for a month. Go sign up and learn and then take the exam. So that is a beginner level exam, and you can do that. I'm learning cloud and planning to switch to cloud from different domain. Please, few tips to crack the interview. How you plan to switch? See, when you are already in a job and you're trying to switch, it becomes a little bit difficult. Not that much difficult. Now, how you will kind of showcase? So you learn, you start learning something. Now you start writing on that. Like you have learned how to create a. Let's say you have learned Kubernetes, then you write how I can create a Kubernetes cluster. One, then move one step ahead. What are different proxies? Then move one step ahead. How do I set up HA Kubernetes cluster? Move one step ahead. Manage Kubernetes. Move one step ahead. How do I set up observability on top of that? Move one step ahead. How do I set up the supply chain security on top of that? Move one step ahead. How do I do set up a CI/CD for a particular small project on top of that? Move one step ahead. How do I set up the end security? I mean, the set up the secure pipeline for that. Then you move one step ahead, do GitHub action. Then you move one step ahead. How do I automate my infrastructure provisioning using the infrastructure provisioning tools? So this is how step by step you will move. You will be sharing like everything you have learned. Then people will recognize you. Okay, this person has been learning for about 6 months. That's why my DevOps roadmap is like 6 months kind of program, which does all these things so that you can actually complete and write all the stuffs, and people will notice, okay, this person has actually done something. It's not only the knowledge of plain knowledge that he has just watched the video, they have watched the video and stuff like that, but they have done something, they have created something, and that's what matters. People will notice. You will get an easier path to switch the jobs. Mostly in the interviews, it can depend, right? If let's say some company is has a use case of implementing observability and they want long term storage, so they'll ask you that question. Okay, I want so let's say you have a Kubernetes project and you want to implement a long term storage and for a time series database, what you would do. So if you have learned, right, you know what long-term storage is, what would be the different projects in the CNCF ecosystem that supports that. So like this, when you are juggling with terminologies, when you're juggling with CNCF, the landscape, the projects, the learning curve, all the roadmap stuff that I mentioned, everything will fall in place. Just passing by to say hello, hi, Nuno. He is my awesome friend. So basically, sign up for SuseCon because I and Nuno have a session, 3 ways of K3S, which you should not miss. There, I did a plug. DevOps Roadmap 2022 update with Kunal Bootcamp video. So see, the thing is, yeah, I get this question as well. Kunal is my colleague. He works at CU as well. And he's a fantastic person. So my roadmap video came before Kunal did his first bootcamp video. That is the reason it was not there. Now I won't record the video again, and yes, you can definitely refer to Kunal's bootcamp videos, the Docker Kubernetes courses as well. Why you shouldn't? I'm not getting that question. So I don't know what do you want to hear. You can watch any of the videos. So I'll give you one more example. So the Terraform courses I gave in the roadmap video are separate. But recently, one of my friends whom I did a stream with, Sid Pales, he released a 2-hour Terraform course, which is dope. So that doesn't mean you should not listen to that course. So you should definitely check that course out and learn from that. Courses will keep on coming. Workshops will keep on coming. I cannot change the video every month. I gave you the roadmap and I gave you the resources. Those resources are very well valid. Those resources are good. Those resources will help you in learning the concepts. Any new course by someone great is also good, and you should take that. So you can judge, and you are obviously the judge for the person you are watching the video. So if you like the roadmap video, and if you just want to follow that blindly, you can do that. So if some new course is coming up and you are more interested towards that, obviously go for it. Nothing, extra knowledge never harms, right? So nothing will be harmful. Kubernetes architecture remains the same if I teach or anybody else teach. So architecture will have those components, will have the control plane and the worker node. You'll have the kubelet cannot go away. So you'll have the basics the same. So basics will be the same. So definitely, the answer to it is you can and you should watch the Kunal bootcamp videos as well. I hope I made that statement clear. Any possible mini projects on AWS Cloud Free Tier? Why not pick up few of the services, and AWS Lambda, manage Kubernetes, their pipelines, and their ECR, and the CI/CD stuff, and create something fancy with it. How much should I know Golang to start with DevOps? So that depends on, again, on which area in DevOps you're going. If you are only going as a DevOps engineer, that depends on profile to profile. If you are going in as a Kubernetes engineer, I believe they would want you to work on the custom resource definition, CRDs. So you should be able to write the controllers. For controllers, you should be able to know Go and the Kubernetes source code, like how you can write the controllers and use kube builder or operator SDK, these projects, and how to create those frameworks. The basics of Go you can learn from various videos out there. I have mentioned some of the resources I remember in the in the DevOps roadmap. Tour.golang is also something very good. I did one of the Twitter threads, which is there in one of my newsletters, that you can go check. I do not know which edition it is, but there are only 12 editions, so go check them out. So that gives you like what are the best Golang resources you recommend, and people have recommended list of resources. So go over that. Nikhil, very interesting question. How to keep updated with the new tools? This is a question that I like very much, to be honest. So yes, that is very difficult in the cloud native ecosystem to stay updated. I sleep today, and tomorrow there is something new that is being launched, and it's very difficult. Tomorrow I wake up and Grafana launches something. Tomorrow I wake up and ChainGuard launches something. Tomorrow I wake up and Sivo launches something. So every day the innovation is happening. Now there are many startups who are working in cloud native. So innovation is bound to happen. And even Kubernetes, it's kind of bound to change. It's bound to kind of have something more useful than Kubernetes. So it will happen. Not today, maybe down there in 5 years, 10 years, it will definitely happen. Uh, yes, it will happen. So how do I keep myself updated is so that's kind of an evangelism role. So it fits to my role. So I keep on looking out for some of the tools if they're solving a specific problem. Now I never go deep dive into a tool if it is actually solving a specific problem. So you can skim through. That is why the landscape is for. So you go to the landscape, click on the card, it will give you some of the useful information about GitHub, stars, contributions, and stuff like that. Go to the first readme of that particular tool. It will not take more than 5 minutes, like what that particular tool does. Or basically just go through the announcement blog that a company posted and see what the stuff is doing. So basically I would say follow some of the people who are creating content. One, that will give you uh, the good tools that you should be knowing, because they are evangelizing stuff and they are working on some of the new tools. So leave it to them and you just take that information. Second would be to kind of explore on your own. You are on your own and you do that. A bit tough but doable. Third is following the newsletter. So many people are writing great newsletters. So follow them, including mine. Follow them, and there also you get the latest news, announcements, the blogs that will keep you updated in cloud native. So I think that is the stuff that you'll get, new stuff which is actually seen by many people, and you should look for it. So I think leave that job to the folks who are doing creating the newsletters, videos, and stuff, and you just consume that information and increase your cloud native tools wealth. uh, I Okay, Hamad, I have answered this question already. um okay, how you manage the time stone. Okay, time. Oh, good question, Gaurav, on the remote work culture. So yes, the more it's easy to kind of work at home, the more difficult it becomes when you have to collaborate with your team members. So how some of the teams are doing is they are doing it asynchronously, unless you are specifically required for a particular call. So there can be times when a discussion is pretty urgent, or you are working on the customer side of things, you might need to attend late night calls. Else, I believe it's pretty chill in all the most of the remote work jobs, where you are given a task. Let's say you want to create a specific feature in particular repository, or in a microservice. You are given a time frame. Okay, we have 3 month 3 weeks deadline, we need to complete this feature. Now it's on your own. You keep updating in your Slack or whatever means of communication you use, and you tell your team, give them the updates regularly. They will obviously ask, your team will be there, you will be having sync calls. So I think people try, even we try to have sync calls at the time that suits everyone. So that is something that people try. So basically the companies will try to adjust as much as they can. But when you are on the customer side of things you can, sometimes you have to attend calls late night or early morning. So that can happen, but that won't be very frequent. I have answered this. And suppose I know Docker and some cloud, can I control? I don't know what that means. Okay, people have been answering questions as well. Dear students, I'd suggest you to join all kinds of com events, which is happening around. Go in person, attend online in parallel, keep studying for things you're learning, hearing the events. Absolutely. Navneet and, Navneet, is we when we used to do meetups in Bangalore, we used to meet up. He also used to attend a lot of meetups, and we used to kind of learn, speak, and all that stuff. So it's always a great learning. Go to the meetups. I know like COVID times have changed, but there are a lot of virtual events and a lot of free events. DockerCon is coming up; it is free. KubeCon, even many of the organizations, they are doing some contest. Like you go to the website, learn something, you get a free virtual pass. Why you are not doing that? I'm not getting it. So opportunities are actually there in front of you. You're not just taking it. There are many scholarships that you can apply. And I think next question is that only. Can I join? Can I apply for scholarship? Why not? So my question back to you: why not? Just apply today. You might get rejected. Tomorrow you learn from it. Apply again. So Google summer of talks. I mean, there are mind blowing things that keep on happening. Scholarships that keep on happening. I would say just go for it. Do it. Don't think. Hello everyone. Hi Rishabh. Hi, from where to practice the strong tools like Docker, Kubernetes, and if you have any tip on how to retain and maintain the knowledge for the tools if one is practicing a new tool. So Docker Kubernetes is now not new. Uh, if you talk about 2016, 17, or before that, yes, there were less resources, less people talking about them, less number of labs. But now everywhere you are getting the resources, everywhere you are getting, some of the stuffs. Very simple example, deploy a WordPress application using Docker. So you need to create a Docker file, you need to create a compose file, you need to have front end, back end. So do that. Have a database, have that connected. Use that depends on. So I mean, start small, and slowly go big. Hello, Sayyam. Hope you're doing great. Yes, thank you. I'm doing great. Hi, Sayyam. I'm not enjoying what I'm doing right now. Front end. How do I switch as I started DevOps? It's really interesting. Is there need of DSA? Not immediately. DSA is not mandatory, but yes, you follow the roadmap, I would say. That that's the only answer if you want to kind of switch. True. Anubhav said right over there. It is open for everyone. Yes, Kata Coda and even Killer Coda. So Killer Coda is something by my friend Kim. Nice place to get hands-on experience as well. Might be silly how to move from tech lead to director or above might not be the right time at right place. Interesting. So your ladders, would be different. So I would say like have a communication with your manager. Have a learning path. Okay, this is what I want to achieve in the next 1 2 years. How do I do that? Ask them for a path. If they are able to give you, probably you are in the right place. If they're not able to give you, probably you need to figure out different options. How to get in-depth knowledge in creating Jenkins pipelines using Groovy script is an interesting link. So right now, I think I won't be able to search, but there are very good Jenkins courses that you can do. Now it depends on what you actually want to do. So is it like simple task, or is it like much of the automation? And even if it is, break it down into smaller chunks. You don't create a full website at one go. First you start with a login page. Similarly, when you have to write a huge Jenkins file, start with small stuff, and make sure they are running, and eventually your Jenkins Groovy script will become very big, and you'll be able to achieve all the tasks. I want to become financially independent, and with college it is way long process. I don't think so. I have seen many. Actually, in our time, we didn't have the resources that you are having at the moment, to be honest. So, if you are not taking the full use of the resources that you are having, then it's probably very sad. So, I think you are in an era where you have tons of resources, tons of mentors, tons of great people, good community. I think you are in beautiful place right now. There's nothing better than this. So you can start and become financially independent. You need to focus on learning. Rest all the things will fall in place. I'm following your DevOps roadmap and I'm studying Linux. I also follow Kunal. I'm confused to explore Kunal videos like Kubernetes because I'm following a roadmap. I already answered this question. Can I get hired in 4 to 6 months as front end developer for remote work? Again, the more you showcase what you are doing, what you are learning, what you have built, small, big, medium size, the more are your chances to get remote work. So in order to get recognized, obviously you need to kind of learn in public. We talk a lot about it. You need to kind of build your social profiles. It really helps. So let's say you are starting out right now, you kind of learned some JavaScript and fancy stuff. What are you doing with that? Have you created something? If you have created, have you documented it? If documented, have you released it? If released, have you told that to your friends, to public, on Twitter, on LinkedIn? If not, then why? You should do that. Keep doing that and you can definitely get it. I'm a third year student. Should I drop out of college if I'm not getting any benefit and it's costing me much of my time and energy? I utilize it in more important things. I cannot comment if you should drop or not. It's your personal choice of doing that. If you have think you have come far away, finish it off. There are things people are doing with college. If they can, so can you. Things are not going to change in future. Today you have college, tomorrow you'll be having job. Always keep that in mind. What to do if I find a code base overwhelming if I have good knowledge in tech stack. For example, I'm good with Python, but when I see a project including it, I go blank. That can happen often. If you go to a project like Kubernetes, boom, you can't, kind of start reading the code base. But there is a community behind it. There are project maintainers around it. There is a Discord or Slack group behind it. You don't need to go in and contribute on day one. You first get involved in the project. By that I mean start attending their project meetings, the calls, see what they are doing, ask them what are the basic starter things that you need to know for this particular project, understand how the project works. Now you show the interest, they'll give you back. Okay, this is the next task that you can do it. Maintainers are always looking for new contributors. Kubernetes is always looking in for hundreds of contributors. There are places where you can contribute. So for all the projects. Wow, we are 45 minutes in. Let's see how more we can answer. Hi JJ. So JJ Thompson is the person who have created awesome stickers that you can see in my profile. By the way, I'm very active on Twitter, so make sure you follow me over there as well if you have not already. And the YouTube and Cube Simplify. Hey, our remote work hype that real? I heard after taxes, we get is the same salary as compared to a SD role of SD role person. I don't know what you're trying to say over here. So your salaries will be the same, right? You are getting the salary and the tax slabs are the same. So you are, if you fall in the tax bucket of let's say 30%, then if you are earning, then you are paying that 30%. So I don't know how that will be same. Yes, remote work does give you more opportunities because they are looking for talent rather than your structure. And anyways, if anybody says they are offering a competitive salary, probably they'll never ask you for your pay slips. If they're asking, then it's not a competitive salary. It will be the salary which is depending on your previous salary, which is not a competitive salary. Competitive salary is if I'm hiring anyone, I'll give you my range. That is my range. That's it. So I won't ask you, I might ask you for your authenticity after I give you the offer, not before that. After learning AWS Cloud, what should be the next goal? DevOps Roadmap is your answer. So, what's next? How do I combine DevOps with other tech stack? Why not? You learn Rust, Wasm stuff next, and you'll be good for the next 10 years. Since you mentioned you moved from a Java developer to DevOps role, I have to ask how you did and managed time during those days and avoid getting burnt out. Getting burnt out is very important and very critical, and it hits you bad. So you have to always make sure that you give yourself enough time to recharge through the day. Now you can do it in different ways. You can practice meditation for 5-10 minutes while you start your day. You can practice yoga. To be honest, I haven't been able to kind of do it regularly, but I always try. You spend some time with your family, go out for a walk for 15-20 minutes a day, so that you are connected to the nature, you are connected to your loved ones, near and dear ones, and you don't get burned out. In remote work, this is very common. You keep working, and you don't know. You wake up, start your day, keep working, end your day, you go sleep. That will and cannot continue for a long time. You have to focus on your health. You have to focus on on doing things. Obviously you need to learn new things. So plan your day well, but in planning that day you have to give time to yourself. So that is very important. Now you always fix some times for your social media interaction. Fix your time for, okay, morning 1 hour I'll check my Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, blah blah, whatever stuff is there. Evening 1 hour I'll do the same stuff. Evening I'll go for a walk as well. And I'll spend in middle, I'll spend some time with my family, kid, mother, father, brother, or whatever, whoever your friends are, friends and family. And then this time 1 hour I have to kind of learn something new, and I won't touch anything. So you do that. Uh, Obviously, you have deadlines, so you have to make time for completing those as well. How to reach out for DevOps role when you don't have any working experience as a fresher? When you build your social profile, keep asking. After your significant contributions, you should ask, like, I'm interested in an internship at your organization. Is there some I believe I can do and contribute something? People will hire you, and from intern role you'll become permanent. That happens a lot. It's not like it happened to only one or two people. That happens a lot. I have done BSc, make a career in IT, so I choose DevOps or the usual FANG stuff. I don't know what the usual FANG stuff is. FANG is also using DevOps. So project, I'm daily learning on Twitter. Project tips. Yeah, there are a lot of projects like follow Cube Simplify, join our Discord. We are working on 3 projects right now, and there are 3 to 4 projects in the pipeline, which you can either see how they're getting built, either work on them with the team, or learn from them. Thank you. I got a job in a product based company. Wow, that is amazing. Congratulations to Shaker for getting a job. And I think if he can do it, so can you. So reach out to Shaker. How did you do that? Outreach in terms of require previous knowledge. Um, See, apply. Just apply. I have already answered this question. I hope it is there. Any resources to learn Python Golang from? Yes, I have mentioned in the roadmap. Folks had good questions. I mean, it's okay. I'm here to answer all, so it's okay. Is there no or less jobs for freshers in the DevOps field? That's a myth. There are jobs. Um, Now it depends, right? In geographically it depends. And as a DevOps fresher, if you think you'll be working on the production system, handling everything, you are wrong. You'll be probably given 6 months to 1 year time to understand the staging, infra, project, and all lot of stuff. And then probably you'll slowly go over there. So you start as an intern, and then it goes directly as a DevOps engineer. You get all sorts of stuff. It is difficult. You won't be getting that. Yes, free code camp and stuff, it is there. What is the future in DevOps? Yes, there is a lot of future in DevOps because the field is growing, the cloud data field is growing, and DevOps roles are also maturing. Now there are specializations in those roles, like a Kubernetes engineer itself, a WASM specialist. You have the DevRels, DevOps advocates, developer advocates. So you are getting those specializations as well. You can choose any of the paths that you want to go through. Any tool that you can estimates how much resources need to run the cluster. I don't understand the question. Like, what do you want to measure? I mean, how do you want to measure the resource need to run a cluster? Basically, there are minimum requirements which are mentioned on the websites when you set up different distributions of Kubernetes. If K3s is less than 50 MB binary, so and it even runs on a Raspberry Pi, that's not a problem. Now, then it will, depending on your workload, it will be like what size node or the node pools you would need. I have seen some videos where they say DevOps is not for freshers. See, again, that depends. I'm not, it's experience based. I'm not saying those videos are a lie. It can be true in what they have seen. What I have seen is there are remote jobs available that hires you as interns, gives you the opportunity to prove yourself, and then they hire you as permanents. So that happens. So that's what I'm saying. What other people are saying, I cannot comment on that. It's their perspective, and it might be true in what they have seen around them. What I have seen around me in the startup ecosystem that I have been recently in, especially in the remote work, is that people have started, especially in the cloud native industry, if I talk, people have started to appreciate and encourage freshers to join them as interns, give them small tasks, and help them out. And if they prove well, then hire them and give them more tasks, and pushing them up the ladder. So it happens. I learned DevOps things with Kunal videos, but I didn't able to understand open source project code base and how to contribute in it. So there are Kubernetes contributor workshops that Kubernetes community conducts throughout the year, different times. You can search on Google as well. You'll definitely find some recordings for that. They follow the different Slack channels of Kubernetes. If you are only with that, they will have meetings where they walk through the code bases. Same for all the other projects. There are maintainers. There is a Slack group. Go there, participate, attend the calls, show your interest, do the research, know about the product, go back, find the issues, say you want to work on them. They'll give you some, okay, you go read this. Read it, go back again, and keep doing this stuff. You'll eventually be a contributor. Yes, freshers are more aware these days, and they are bragging great opportunities. That's what I'm saying. The era in which you are living, and if you are a fresher, you can't imagine how much good position you are in and how much opportunities you have. You are not realizing that the amount of opportunities you have is endless. Yes, endless. I'm facing difficulty to learn DevOps with projects. Any useful GitHub repositories? Any project, pick it up, get involved. I was starting with DevOps, but after that video, I got scared. If I learn DevOps, I will not get opportunity as a fresher. I hope I answered your question. I say I'm in 12th standard. Will be joining some college as just starting out in coding, following their roadmap and other development. Any suggestions? You are in 12th standard. When I was there, I didn't do anything, especially in DevOps and all that stuff. Yeah, I was into the tech. I had my Raspberry Pi and stuff like after in my college, but I in my 12th standard I didn't have this set of knowledge. That's what Shaker just mentioned. You have, like, you are in a time where at 12th standard you're doing the stuff which many experienced people are also doing. So you're in a very good time. Keep doing that. Hey, Michael, I think great people have joined the chat. So, 90 days of DevOps, make sure you check that out. Great repository, great resources. It and yeah, I tweeted yesterday 100 days of code, DevOps, Kubernetes, or anything, even 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. They are superb. They teach you the commitment. They teach you how to stay focused, committed, follow a path, share your learnings. I would encourage everyone to kind of do it. So I think that's really very helpful. How can we get the t-shirts related to DevOps like you wore now? This one, oh, shout out to Nathan from Robusta. So I think we did many of those Twitter threads and stuff like that. Many people actually won that, and he keeps on running that. So Nathan, if you are seeing Robusta, tag him, tag Robusta, and see when you are running the next challenge. He might be giving. Anyways, the simple answer is attend in-person conferences, contribute to the community, swags, job opportunities, everything will fall in your place. Starting packages for fresher, these are more than my manager's salary with 16-year experience. You can be free in just 5 years experience. Yeah, that's true. Hello, Michael. Hello, Michael. Hello, Michael. Hi, Marino. Cool. Michael, my friend, has a good following as well. Make sure you follow him. How do I filter out the right content? Just so many content these days. Again, depending on person to person, what I suggest is some people have good experience and they have been in this industry for quite some time, and if you feel like their experience would benefit you, then probably watch them more. And if you feel like the other person is creating really good content and you are understanding the concepts well, then follow those. So that's actually in your hands which content to kind of follow. Can you tell the salary for remote DevOps engineer? I think their learn my friends at Learn K8s have very good reports of job trends with salary and different ranges. Make sure you check that out. What things should I know? At least internship at CNCF projects, follow the DevOps roadmap, database knowledge needed for DevOps. Yeah, good question. Yes, you should be knowing some amount of databases, how they work and stuff like that. Because if you're deploying a database, you should be knowing, like, I'm deploying it as a stateful set in a Kubernetes. Then why I'm deploying that, what database will do. The depths of it, no, but some stuff definitely you should, like a time series database, how that works, because you'll be querying that as well. Prometheus is also a time series database, you will be querying those. So as a DevOps engineer, you should know that. Remote companies see who organize in-person events or meetups. Yeah, we definitely do. We used to do a lot of meetups when I was not at CVO. That doesn't depend on your remote companies, to be honest. Many companies would do that. So go to meetup.com, go to community.cncf.io. These both websites will tell you your local meetups, how they are happening, when they are happening all over the world. Is it in person, is it virtual? You should attend those. Massive amount of knowledge. I've learned a lot from meetups in my past years. How do I get strong communication skills? Please start creating videos and you will improve eventually. So don't think about the criticism that you will get, because people to criticize will never be short of. So you just keep doing your stuff, and even if, same goes for writing. Maybe you write a blog, you are not writing it good. When I studied, I was also not a pro. I took some time to write. Now I can write much faster than I did 3 4 years ago. So I think you learn if you start that. So first step is also difficult, and from there on the journey also is difficult. So take that first step and don't stop afterwards. I'm from BCom. Any experience can I go directly for DevOps, or do I need something else first? DevOps roadmap is what you need from scratch. Where to find remote work? Follow the right people, follow the right organization, startups. You will get the remote work. So should I watch all the videos in each section of our DevOps roadmap? I would say yes. I face issues when someone asks me the question regarding Windows Server. I find myself at a blank spot, feels like a whole new world. Any recommendation there for your points regarding this? Yes, when you are in the area, because like DevOps or Kubernetes is not only Linux based. You have WSL, WSL2, and my friend Nuno. I'm not sure if you are in the chat. So there are people who are working especially in the Windows domain and how things are working, especially in the WSL. So if you are in DevOps, I would say only focus on the WSL part. I'm not sure about what all fancy questions you get from Windows Server perspective, but I think there are people who might help you. Like Nuno is one, Hayden is one, and there are some more people, especially if those WSL folks, Windows fans, they would be able to kind of help you if you are stuck in any specific issue related to Windows Server. At least they'll be able to point you to the right documentation or tutorials. Do college degree really matters? I think there's one video, very good video by my colleague Andy. He did with Kunal, I believe. Please watch that for this same query. Is remote work possible in AWS by solution architect profile? I don't know if, like, what do you mean only solution architect profile? Because it depends on what type of role you're looking for. Remote work is there for all the jobs, even for content creators, for social media marketing managers, everything. How do we get exposure to DevOps cloud use cases and real-time projects? I think I've shared that. What to choose, full stack or DevOps for freelancing? I think that again depends on your interest. I wish it let me ask question with more than 200 characters. You can DM me anytime, Navneet. What about development stack technology knowledge required for DevOps? Shared everything in my DevOps roadmap video. Kunal, hi. Do you work during evenings? I get tired when working in evenings. Just want to know how you deal with it. That's very great question because uh, the amount of content you are creating, you always want to do more, and you know, if you sit for 1 more hour, you'll actually create something or finish a particular task and it will not go to the next day. But be careful for your burnouts. I have dealt with it, like at a stretch, if I do something continuously, I would start feeling that burnout, and then it hits very hard, and my productivity for next few weeks will get reduced. So we don't want to be on that stage. So in the evenings, that's what you have to spend some time with yourself, with your friends, and go out for a walk. That dedication of time should be there so that you get recharged. So recharging yourself, just like sleep. So you need sleep to kind of get recharge your body and mind. Similarly, for avoiding these burnouts and taking yourself screen time, because what we are doing is, we have a job and we are also creating content, but everything is tied to screen time. We are not reducing our screen time. We are like focusing on that. You might have 18 hours, 19 hours. That's not helping, right? So we need to reduce that screen time a bit, and it will definitely help your productivity. AWS admin want to start Python for automation. Where should I start? I scare a lot from programming. Everything is scary in life. Take risks and start learning. Hi Kunal. Okay, hi Kunal. Okay, obviously Kunal has fans. Um, are there any such awesome guys who feel happy by mentoring beginner students, like those who are commenting here? Question: were eager to learn. Can we get free mentorship in any domain? I believe many people in this particular chat are mentoring free of cost. So how much knowledge do I need? I have shared this already. DevOps versus web development, which one is better? Depends on your interest. Okay, you have interest in both the fields, so probably, why not you create a web application and deploy it on Kubernetes and showcase both skills. See, basically, you should know the I have seen like all the Java developers in the big organizations as well. When you have a skill set, they are also kind of being trained to know the cloud, to know how stuff works, to know Kubernetes and stuff basics. I know it's not mandatory for a developer, but there are people who are kind of learning at least some portions of it, so they understand how the connectivity works. But if you are totally focused on one area, that is also completely fine. Can I complete your DevOps roadmap within 2 months if I learn 13 hours a day? I cannot comment on that because that depends on how you learn, how fast you learn, how much you retain, how many projects or how many labs you do. Miss your CNCF minutes. It'll be back soon. I was dealing with my dental issues. Don't know that whether you know or not, but our college subjects there's literally a chapter of DevOps. Good. Cool. Best content already mentioned everywhere. Some people like written content, video content, hats on, show and tell. No answer is right, but for all, but we all are building great content that helps us to learn as well as other. Absolutely. There are people, I mean, I read a lot. And even I like it, when it's in theory form, but some people find videos very useful. Some people find the readmes very useful. So we keep on trying new things, and I would say like appreciate all the content creators. They are putting a lot of hard work in kind of bringing something new, and learn from them. I think everybody is kind of in a way giving free mentorship, free time to you, so that what they have learned, some other person can also learn, get benefit, get learnings, good jobs, and so on and so forth. Cool. Yeah, we have a meetup coming in London. Which language should I learn? Python, C++, Java for DevOps. Golang. You didn't ask for it. Wow. The most asked question, right? For Kunal. When will you resume your DSA bootcamp? Interesting. Will you answer in DM? I mean, will you be helped by answering queries if possible? There are Discord channels that helps you kind of, because there are many people over there which will be able to help you. So sometimes what happens is, I'm not saying I'm an influencer, I get hundreds of DMs, I'm not able to reply to them, but it happens while we are doing the work. Sometimes it becomes difficult to reply to all the messages. So it's better if you can join some of the community groups. Like Kunal is having community classroom, Michael is having the repository, I am having the Discord, many people are having that. Join those, and probably best place would be to ask queries over there, because there are people who are at exactly at maybe your stage of learning, who can relate to that question and answer if they have done it, or someone else will answer. So that would be the best one. Do you have workout, run, how you maintain fitness? I try to prefer doing yoga. See, pressure is, if you learn anything by taking pressure, then probably, I think, in my opinion, it won't be the best learning. Try to find your interest. I see some people really very good at creating graphics, creating Figma templates. So I don't see a reason for them to kind of learning development when there are too many jobs for that sole thing. There are content creators who are writing blogs and they are getting paid for it. If they are very much evangelists and they can write blogs, they can focus on that. There is no need to learn web development thoroughly. So again, depends. Don't take it as a pressure. Enjoy, relax. No, it's not. Cool, cool. What's your view on Code Cloud? Yes, very good courses. Awesome. I finished all the questions. So, freelancing clients in DevOps, again, you build your social profile, you and they keep on posting the jobs. So you tell them, you can help some of the people, and if they like you as a contractor, they'll see your work, they'll hire you. Cool. We are over time, 1 hour 15 minutes. Love you all for. Thank you so much for joining in, and tweet out if you liked some of the answers, and it'll make me feel happy. The first live stream of 2022 and the first Q&A session, it went really really well. Thank you so much, Michael, Kunal, Marino, Nuno, all the amazing people in the industry who are making an impact, helping out people in learning more and more stuff, putting in the efforts, even having burnouts doing that. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll resume many cool stuff soon. The CNC of Minutes video, Cube Simplify, my Twitter, and all the amazing people in the chat. Please follow them as well. Follow their content creations, channels, YouTubes. Then only you'll network well, then only you'll get to know the opportunities well, then only you'll be able to know the content well, then only you'll be able to find the jobs. Everything falls along. So just keep learning. All the best for your journeys, and make sure you don't get burnt out. Stay fit. Mentally healthy is very important in anything. So make sure you do that, and stay safe. Love you all. Bye.